Captain Lisa Sawyer stood at the viewport of the horizon, watching the massive space station grow larger. Her heart beat faster. This was humanity's first meeting with the Galactic Council. Everything had to go perfectly. "Captain, we're cleared. To dock," said Paul Garcia, her second in command. His usually calm face showed excitement too. "Thank you, Paul." "Tell the crew to prepare for arrival," Lisa said. She smoothed down her navy blue uniform and checked her reflection in the polished surface nearby. At 42, she had earned every gray streak in her brown hair. The ship glided into the docking bay with a gentle bump. Through the viewport, Lisa could see creatures of all shapes and sizes watching from observation decks. Some had scales, others had fur, some walked on 2 legs, others on 4 or 6. "Mom, can I go to the front?" A voice spoke behind her. Lisa turned to see her 12-year-old daughter Emma bouncing on her toes. Emma had her father's curly red hair and Lisa's determined chin. "Remember the rules," Lisa said. "Stay with your group, follow all instructions from the crew, and don't wander off," Emma finished. "I know, Mom, but this is so cool. Real aliens." Lisa smiled despite her nerves. Emma was part of the cultural exchange program. 5 human children had come on this historic journey to show the alien races that humans valued family bonds. "Go on, then. Mrs. Harris is gathering the exchange students near the main airlock." Emma hugged her mother quickly and ran off, her red sneakers squeaking on the polished floor. An hour later, Lisa led the diplomatic team through the massive entry hall of the station. Creatures of all kinds moved around them. Some flew on leathery wings, others slithered on snake-like bodies. The humans tried not to stare, but it was hard not to. The council chamber was a huge round room with seats rising in circles like a sports arena. Each section held different beings. But Lisa noticed something strange. Among all these hundreds of aliens, she saw no children except the 5 human ones. A tall alien with gray-green scales and yellow eyes approached them. According to Lisa's briefing, this was a Drakari, known as the fiercest predators in the galaxy. They had conquered 12 star systems before joining the council. "Captain Sawyer," the Drakari said in a rumbling voice. A translator device on its chest made the sounds into English. "I am Supreme War Chief Zex Kaltar. You may call me Ambassador Zex. Welcome to the Galactic Council." Lisa bowed slightly. "Thank you, Ambassador. We're honored to be here." The Drakari's yellow eyes moved to where Emma and the other human children stood with their teacher. "You brought your young ones?" he asked, his voice showing confusion. "Yes," Lisa said proudly. "We wanted to show all aspects of human society, including our families." The ambassador made a strange sound that the translator didn't catch. "Unusual. Follow me to the reception area." The reception was filled with strange foods and even stranger customs. Lisa tried to remember all her diplomatic training as she spoke with representatives from 20 different species. During a quiet moment, she found herself next to Paul as they watched Emma chatting happily with a small group of curious aliens. "Have you noticed?" Lisa asked quietly. "There are no alien children anywhere." Paul nodded. "I asked one of the Meraxian delegates about it. They seemed confused by the question. Before they could discuss further, Ambassador Zex approached with several other council members. "Captain Sawyer," the Drakari said, "these council members wish to understand why you risk bringing undeveloped humans on such an important mission." Lisa blinked in surprise. "Risk? Emma and the other children are here to learn and to show your people that families are important to humans." One of the other aliens, a tall blue being with 4 arms, leaned forward. "You protect them before they prove their worth?" "Of course," Lisa said, confused by the question. "They're children." The aliens exchanged looks that Lisa couldn't read. "Most interesting," Ambassador Zex said. "In all advanced civilizations represented here, young ones must survive on their own merits until maturity. The strong survive, the weak do not. This is the natural way." Lisa felt a chill run down her spine. She looked across the room at Emma, now trying an alien fruit that changed colors. "Not for humans," she said firmly. We protect our children. All of them. The ambassador's yellow eyes narrowed. Perhaps this explains why your species has advanced so slowly. You waste resources on the unproven. Paul stepped forward. With respect, Ambassador, we believe our children are not a waste but our greatest resource, our future. The Drakari made that untranslatable sound again. Fascinating and deeply illogical. As the aliens moved away, Lisa caught Paul's worried look. This might be a bigger cultural gap than anyone had expected. Across the room, Emma waved excitedly, unaware of the profound difference that had just been revealed between humans and every other species in the Galactic Council. 3 weeks passed. On the space station, the humans learned to navigate the strange hallways and even stranger customs of the Galactic Council. Emma and the other children became favorites among some of the alien staff, who watched them with curious eyes. Lisa sat in a meeting with council representatives when she felt the first shake. The table trembled, her water glass tipped over. "What was that?" she asked, looking around. The aliens seemed concerned too. A small blue light began to flash on the wall. Ambassador Zex stood up. "The station's power core is showing signs of failure." Another shake, stronger this time. The lights flickered. A voice came over the speaker system, speaking in several alien languages before switching to English. "Warning. Power core breach detected. All personnel begin evacuation procedures." "This is not a drill." Lisa jumped to her feet. "Emma," she said, "I need to find my daughter." She rushed to the door, but Ambassador Zex blocked her path with his massive, scaled body. "Captain Sawyer, as a visiting dignitary, you must proceed to the primary evacuation area immediately," the Drakari said. "Not without my child," Lisa said firmly. "Where are the children being gathered?" The ambassador blinked his yellow eyes slowly. "The juveniles will follow standard protocol." "Which is what?" Lisa demanded. Another alien, a thin being with 4 arms, stepped forward. "Captain, perhaps you don't understand. In emergency protocols, adults evacuate first. Young ones follow if time permits." Lisa stared in disbelief. "If time permits? You can't be serious." The station shook again. This time, alarms began to sound. "This is standard procedure," Ambassador Zex said calmly. "Adults carry the knowledge and skills of civilization. Young ones are replaceable." Lisa pushed past him. "Not to humans, they're not." She ran into the hallway, pulling out her communication device. "Paul, come in." His voice answered immediately. "Captain, I'm trying to reach you. The station is failing fast. Something catastrophic happened in the power core." "Where's Emma?" Lisa asked, running down the corridor as aliens rushed past her in the opposite direction. "The children were in Recreation Sector 7 for their cultural exchange activities," Paul said. "But there's a problem. The main passage to that sector is blocked by a structural collapse. I'm trying to find another way around." Lisa felt cold fear grip her chest. "I'm coming to you. Where are you?" "Level 4, Junction C." "But Captain, the council representatives are ordering all humans to the evacuation ships right away." A massive boom shook the entire station. Lisa nearly fell. A voice on the station speakers announced, "Power core containment failing. Station destruction estimated in 2 hours. All personnel proceed to evacuation immediately." Lisa reached level 4 and found Paul with 3 other crew members. Their faces were grim. "What's happening with the alien children?" Lisa asked. "They're being left behind," one crew member said, her voice tight with anger. "We saw Drakari parents rushing to the ships without even looking for their young." Through a nearby viewport, Lisa could see evacuation vessels already launching from the station. The aliens were following their protocol exactly. Adults first, children only if time remained. The station's computer voice spoke again. "Warning. Recreation Sector 7 now sealed due to atmosphere loss in adjacent corridors. Life support failing in multiple sectors." Lisa felt her heart stop. "Emma is trapped in there." She turned to the crew gathered around her. "I need volunteers. We're going to get our children out and any alien children too." A crew member looked uncertain. Captain, the aliens made their choice. Their culture doesn't have to be ours, Lisa said firmly. Humans don't leave children behind. Not ours. Not anyone's. The station rocked with another explosion. Through another viewport, they could see flames in a distant section. Captain Sawyer, a voice called. They turned to see Ambassador Zex approaching with several Galactic Council members. You must board the diplomatic evacuation vessel immediately, the Drakari said. It will depart in 10 minutes. My daughter and the other human children are trapped in Recreation Sector 7, Lisa said. I'm not leaving without them. The council members exchanged looks. One stepped forward, a tall insect-like being. Captain, this is most irregular. The young have a separate evacuation protocol if time allows. And if time doesn't allow, Paul asked angrily. The alien blinked compound eyes. Then natural selection has made its choice. Lisa faced them squarely. That may be your way. It is not ours. We're going after our children. Ambassador Zex studied her face. You would risk yourself, an adult, for unproven young. Every time, Lisa said without. Lisa led her team through the trembling space station. They carried emergency packs, breathing masks, and portable shields against radiation. The station groaned around them like a dying animal. The main path is blocked, Paul said, checking his device. We need to go through Maintenance Tunnel B to reach Recreation Sector 7. The group reached a narrow door marked with alien symbols. This is it, Lisa said. She pressed her hand against the scanner. The door didn't open. The emergency has locked down non-essential areas, said Kathy Wilson, the ship's engineer. She pulled tools from her belt. Give me 2 minutes. While Kathy worked on the door, Lisa's device beeped. It was a message from the council. Captain Sawyer, Ambassador Zex's voice came through clearly. The final evacuation vessels will launch in 40 minutes. Your diplomatic ship cannot wait longer than that. I strongly advise you to return immediately. Lisa pressed the reply button. We're getting our children first. Have any of your people gone back for their young? There was a pause. That would not be logical, Captain. The adults must survive to produce more offspring if needed. Lisa shut off the device in disgust. Got it, Kathy said as the door slid open. Hot air rushed out at them. They entered the maintenance tunnel. It was narrow and dark, with pipes running along the walls. Strange liquids dripped from above. The air smelled of burning metal. Masks on, Lisa ordered. The environmental systems are failing. They moved forward in single file. The station shook again, stronger this time. Lisa stumbled against the wall and felt it burn her hand through her glove. The core meltdown is accelerating, Paul said, checking readings on his device. We have less time than we thought. After 10 minutes of careful movement through the overheating tunnel, they reached another door. Beyond it should be the recreation area where Emma and the other children had been for their cultural program. Life signs detected, said Steve Mason, the medical officer, looking at his scanner. Multiple signals. Human and others. Lisa felt hope rise in her chest. They're alive. Open it. This door opened more easily. They stepped into a large room full of play equipment designed for various alien species. Smoke hung in the air, and part of the ceiling had collapsed. Mom. Emma's voice called from across the room. Lisa saw her daughter standing near a far wall. Around her were not just the 4 other human children, but at least 20 alien youngsters of different species. Lisa ran to Emma and hugged her tightly. Are you hurt? No, Emma said. When the alarm started, Mrs. Harris went to find help. She never came back. Then the ceiling fell. Lisa looked around. Where is Mrs. Harris now? We don't know, one of the other human children said. A message came through saying all adults should go to the evacuation area. Lisa felt anger burn inside her. Even the human teacher had been told to leave the children behind. We kept everyone together, Emma said proudly. I remembered what you taught me about emergencies. We sealed the vents when smoke started coming through. We shared our water. Lisa looked at the alien children. Most seemed very young. They huddled together, some making soft crying sounds. A small Drakari hatchling with bright blue scales stood apart from the others, watching the humans with wide yellow eyes. The aliens were scared when their parents didn't come back, Emma explained. I told them we would help them. Paul approached Lisa. Captain, we have 33 minutes until the last evacuation ships leave. We have 5 human children and... He counted. Quickly, 22 alien juveniles. We don't have enough emergency gear for all of them. We're not leaving any behind, Lisa said firmly. The fastest route back is through the main corridor, but sensors show it's exposed to vacuum now, Kathy said, checking her device. The maintenance tunnel is safe but slow. We can't get everyone through in time. The station rocked violently. More ceiling panels crashed down, narrowly missing a group of small, furry alien children. Options? Lisa asked, looking at her team. We have 10 emergency spacesuits for crossing vacuum areas, Steve said. Enough for the human children and 5 adults. The alien children watched them with frightened eyes. The small Drakari hatchling stepped forward and made a sound. With surprise, Lisa realized it was trying to say something in broken English. Help. Us? Emma took the Drakari child's clawed hand in hers. We will, she promised, then looked up at her mother. Right, Mom. We won't leave them. Lisa looked at her daughter's determined face, then at the trust in the alien children's eyes. She made her decision. We all go, she said. We just need to find another way. Lisa studied the station map on her device. Time was running out. The station shook again and lights flickered. There's another way, Kathy said, pointing to a maintenance shaft. It goes around the damaged section, but it passes through a high radiation area. What about the children? Lisa asked. Steve checked his medical supplies. I have anti-radiation meds for the humans, but nothing for the alien species. Their biology is too different. The small Drakari child still stood holding Emma's hand. It watched the adults with intelligent eyes. Lisa's device beeped again. She answered it reluctantly. Captain Sawyer, Ambassador Zex's voice came through. Our sensors show you have reached the juveniles. The Council has discussed your situation. And? Lisa asked. We will hold the final evacuation vessel for 10 more minutes, but only for the human adults and human young. Our species cannot understand risking everything for juveniles that are not your own. Lisa looked at the alien children huddled together, frightened and abandoned. That's not acceptable, Ambassador. All of these children deserve to live. 20 minutes until final evacuation, Paul warned quietly. Lisa turned to her team. Kathy, can we seal off a transport cart to move through the vacuum section? Kathy considered this. Maybe. The maintenance carts have airtight compartments for tools. If we empty them out and override the safety protocols, we might fit 3 or 4 small children per cart. Do it, Lisa ordered. The team quickly got to work. They found 2 maintenance carts in a nearby storage room. Kathy and Steve emptied the compartments while Paul checked the route. Emma organized the children, keeping them calm by starting a simple game where each child taught the others how to say friend in their language. Lisa watched her daughter with pride. Even in danger, Emma showed kindness and leadership. Captain, Paul called. New problem. The station's computer is starting emergency lockdown. Soon all doors will seal automatically. How long? Lisa asked. 7 minutes, Paul said grimly. Lisa made a quick decision. We need to split up. Paul, take the human children in the spacesuits. Go through the vacuum section directly to the evacuation area. What about you? Paul asked. The rest of us. We'll take the alien children in the maintenance carts through the longer route, Lisa said. We'll meet at the evacuation dock. Paul looked troubled. Captain, the odds of both groups making it are better than if we all stay together, Lisa finished. This gives everyone the best chance. She turned to Emma. You need to go with Paul. Emma shook her head firmly. No, Mom. These kids trust me. I'm staying with them. The small Drakari child still held Emma's hand tightly. It seemed afraid she would leave. Lisa wanted to argue, but there was no time. She knew that stubborn look on her daughter's face. 5 minutes until lockdown, Kathy warned. Lisa nodded. All right, Paul, take the other human children and 2 adults. The rest of us will follow with the alien young. Paul selected 4 crew members who had children of their own waiting back on Earth. We'll have a ship ready for you, he promised. As Paul's group prepared to leave, Lisa's device beeped once more. Captain, Ambassador Zex said, his voice different somehow. The Council is monitoring your situation. What you are doing puzzles us greatly. We protect children, Ambassador, Lisa said simply. All children. Even at the cost of your own survival? The Drakari asked. Yes. There was a long pause. The Council has voted. The final evacuation will wait 20 additional minutes. No, longer. Lisa felt a small bit of hope. Thank you, Ambassador. Paul's group left, heading for the direct route. Lisa and her remaining team quickly loaded the alien children into the modified maintenance carts. The small compartments were cramped, but the children squeezed in without complaint. Ready? Lisa asked, looking at Emma, who sat with the small Drakari child in her lap. Ready, Emma said with a brave smile. The station computer announced, Warning, emergency lockdown in 1 minute. Lisa activated the first cart's engine. Let's go. As they moved through the station's burning corridors, she noticed something on the monitors. In the Council evacuation ships, alien representatives were watching their progress. Some looked confused. Others seemed interested. Mom, Emma said, suddenly. I think they're learning from us. Lisa glanced at her wise daughter. Maybe that's the most important part of this mission after all. The station shook violently again. Ahead of them, the path looked dangerous. But there was no turning. Back now. Lisa guided the maintenance cart through narrow corridors filled with smoke. Behind her, Kathy drove the second cart. Warning lights flashed red along the walls. The station's voice kept announcing how much time remained until complete failure. 15 minutes until core collapse, the computer said calmly. The small Drakari child sat beside Emma, watching everything with wide yellow eyes. It had not spoken much, but it seemed to understand what was happening. What's your name? Emma asked it gently. The creature made a sound like stones falling down a hill. Emma tried to repeat it, but couldn't. Can I call you Blue? Emma asked, touching the child's bright blue scales. The Drakari nodded. Then it pointed at a warning sign ahead and made a worried sound. Lisa slowed the cart. The sign showed radiation warnings in multiple alien languages. Radiation shields up, she ordered. The team activated their personal shields, but they only had enough for the humans. What about the children? Steve asked, looking at the alien young ones. Lisa thought quickly. We'll line the carts with the emergency blankets. They have radiation, blocking material. They worked fast, wrapping the metal carts with silver blankets. It wouldn't stop all radiation, but it might help. We need to move quickly through this section, Lisa said. The faster we go, the less exposure. She started the cart again and increased speed. The engine whined as they raced through the dangerous area. Behind them, Kathy followed closely. Lisa's device beeped with an incoming message. She let Emma answer it while she drove. This is Emma, her daughter said. Ambassador Zex's voice came through. Young human, our sensors show you are entering a high radiation zone. This is extremely dangerous for developing organisms. We know, Emma said, but it's the only way to get everyone out. There was a pause. The Council is watching your progress. Many are puzzled by your actions. What's puzzling about saving kids? Emma asked simply. Another pause. In nature, adults do not risk themselves for young that may not survive to adulthood. Humans are part of nature too, Emma said, and we do things differently. The station shook violently. A ceiling panel crashed down just ahead of them. Lisa swerved the cart to avoid it. Status report on Paul's group? Lisa asked, taking the device from Emma. They have reached the evacuation area, the ambassador said. But they refuse to board without confirmation of your group's safety. Lisa smiled slightly. That sounded like Paul. They reached the end of the radiation zone and moved into a new section of the station. Here, the damage was worse. Fires burned along the walls. The air was thick with smoke. "Breathing masks for everyone," Lisa ordered. The team passed out masks to the alien children. Some of the masks didn't fit the strange faces, but they made them work as best they could. 10 minutes until core collapse, the computer announced. "We're not going to make it on time," Kathy said, checking her map. "We still have 2 more sections to cross." Lisa refused to give up. "We keep moving." As they turned a corner, they found their path blocked. A support beam had fallen, completely blocking the corridor. "No," Lisa whispered. They had come so far. The small Drakari child, Blue, suddenly climbed out of the cart. It walked to the fallen beam and pushed against it. The beam didn't move. Blue looked back at the humans and made a sound. "I think it wants help," Emma said. Lisa nodded. "Everyone who can, let's try to move this beam." The humans got out and pushed together with Blue. The beam shifted slightly, but not enough. 2 more alien children, tall, thin ones with 4 arms each, joined them. Together they pushed again. The beam moved a few inches. "Again," Lisa called. They all pushed together, humans and alien children working side by side. The beam scraped along the floor and created enough space for the carts to pass through. "Back in the carts, quickly," Lisa ordered. As they climbed back in, Lisa noticed something on the station's monitors. The alien council members were watching them closely. Some were leaning forward, their expressions unreadable to human eyes. 8 minutes until core collapse, the computer said. They started moving again, faster now. The final evacuation area was still far away. "Mom," Emma said quietly, "even if we don't make it, we did the right thing." Lisa squeezed her daughter's hand. "We'll make it." But yes, we did. The station trembled again, more violently this time. Ahead, they could see the final corridor leading to the evacuation area, and standing there, blocking their path, was the massive scaled form of Ambassador Zex. Lisa stopped the cart. Ambassador Zex stood blocking their path, his massive scaled body filling the corridor. His yellow eyes glowed in the emergency lighting. "Ambassador," Lisa said carefully, "we need to get through. The station is about to collapse." The Drakari stepped forward. 6 minutes until evacuation ships must depart," he said. His voice sounded different now, less cold. Lisa prepared to argue, but the ambassador surprised her. "I have come to assist," he said. Lisa blinked in confusion. "You're helping us?" "The council has been watching your efforts," Zex said. "What you are doing makes no sense by our standards, and yet—" He looked at the carts filled with alien children, then at Emma and Blue sitting together. "Your ways are strange to us," he continued, "but they have raised questions we have never considered." A violent explosion rocked the station. The lights went out completely for 3 seconds before emergency power kicked in. 5 minutes until core collapse, the computer announced. Ambassador Zex moved closer. "My species is physically stronger than yours. I can help clear the path ahead. There is damage in the final section." Lisa nodded, still surprised. "Thank you." They moved forward together, the ambassador leading the way. True to his word, when they reached a section where pipes had fallen from the ceiling, he lifted them easily with his powerful arms. As they moved, Lisa noticed the ambassador looking back frequently at the children, especially at Blue. "That hatchling," he said, pointing to Blue, "is from a high-ranking Drakari family." "You know it?" Lisa asked. "Yes. Its parent is a council member who evacuated early." Lisa felt anger rise inside her. They left their own child without a second thought? The ambassador's scales shifted color slightly. "It is our way. Or it has been." They reached the final turn. Up ahead they could see the evacuation dock. Several ships remained, including the human diplomatic vessel. Paul stood at the entrance waving urgently. 3 minutes until core collapse, the computer warned. All remaining personnel must evacuate immediately. They hurried forward, but suddenly, the floor beneath them buckled. Lisa felt it giving way. She grabbed Emma just as the floor collapsed. They fell backward, safe, but now a large hole separated them from the evacuation area. "Mom!" Emma cried out, pointing. Blue had fallen partway into the hole and was hanging on with its small clawed hands. Without hesitation, Lisa dove forward and grabbed Blue's arm. The floor cracked more beneath her weight. She felt herself slipping. Then a strong scaled hand grabbed her leg. Ambassador Zex anchored himself against the wall and held Lisa firmly, allowing her to pull Blue to safety. 2 minutes until core collapse, the computer announced. "We can't jump this gap with the carts," Kathy said frantically. Ambassador Zex looked at the hole, then at the children. He made a decision. "I will carry them," he said. "My species can jump much farther than humans." Without waiting for a response, he picked up 2 alien children and leaped across the gap easily. He handed them to Paul, then jumped back. Quickly, Lisa urged the team, "Help the ambassador." One by one, Zex carried the alien children across. The humans worked together, passing the children to him. Time was running out. 1 minute until core collapse. Final warning. Almost all the children were across now. Emma helped Blue climb onto the ambassador's back for the last trip. "You too," Lisa told Emma. "Not without you," Emma insisted. "I'll be right behind you," Lisa promised. "Go." Emma reluctantly let the ambassador carry her and Blue to safety. Now only Lisa, Kathy, and Steve remained on the wrong side of the gap. 30 seconds, the computer warned. The floor shook violently. More panels were falling from the ceiling. The gap was widening. Ambassador Zex jumped back one more time. "We must go now," he said. "The structure is failing." He grabbed Lisa with one arm and Kathy with the other. Steve held onto his back. With a powerful leap, the ambassador cleared the widening gap. They landed roughly on the other side as the floor behind them collapsed completely. "Run!" Paul shouted from the ship's door. They raced for the evacuation vessel as the station began to break apart around them. They could feel the heat of explosions behind them. As they reached the ship, Lisa looked back. Through the viewport, she could see the other alien council members watching from their vessels. Their expressions were impossible to read, but they were all focused on the Drakari ambassador carrying human adults to safety. "Everyone in," Paul called. "We're the last ship." They piled into the vessel, the doors sealed behind them. Paul rushed to the controls and started the launch sequence. "Core collapse imminent," the station's final message announced. Their ship pulled away just as the first major explosion tore through the station's center. Through the viewport, they watched as the massive structure began to break apart in a series of blinding flashes. They had made it. All of them. In the passenger area, Emma sat with Blue beside her. The small Drakari looked up at Ambassador Zex, who stood nearby. "Thank you," Emma said to the ambassador. "You saved us." The Massey. 6 months passed since the space station disaster. The human diplomatic vessel Horizon now orbited Earth. It had been redesigned with a special council chamber for a historic event. The first Galactic Council meeting that would include children of all species. Lisa stood by the large viewport watching the alien ships arrive. She wore her formal uniform with a new rank pin. She had been promoted to admiral after the rescue mission. "Nervous?" Paul asked, joining her at the window. "A little," Lisa admitted. This meeting could change everything. Emma rushed into the room wearing a neat blue outfit. Behind her came 6 alien children, including Blue, the young Drakari who had become her friend during the rescue. "Mom," Emma called. "The council members are coming. Can we greet them?" Lisa smiled. "Of course, that's the whole point of today." In the 6 months since the station disaster, news had spread across the galaxy about how humans had risked their lives to save not only their own children but alien young as well. Many alien species had been confused at first. Some had dismissed it as human weakness, but others began asking questions about human family structures and child-rearing practices. The council chamber doors opened. Alien representatives began to enter. Tall, short, scaled, furred, many different forms from many different worlds. But this time, something was different. Many of them brought young ones with them. Ambassador Zex entered last. The massive Drakari looked around the room, his yellow eyes finding Lisa. "Admiral Sawyer," he greeted her, bowing slightly. "Earth's hospitality is appreciated." "Welcome, Ambassador," Lisa said. "We're honored to host the council." Blue stepped forward from Emma's group and made a sound in the Drakari language. The ambassador responded with similar sounds. "Blue has been teaching me their language," Emma whispered to her mother. "It's really hard." The meeting began with formal speeches. Lisa welcomed everyone to Earth, speaking about cooperation and understanding between different species. Then Ambassador Zek stood to address the council. 6 standard cycles ago, the Drakari said, I witnessed something that challenged the beliefs of my species and many others represented here. He looked around the room slowly. For countless generations, the advanced species of our galaxy have followed the laws of nature as we understood them. The strong survive. The weak perish. Adults matter more than young because they carry the knowledge and experience of our civilizations. The room was completely silent. Even the children stopped, fidgeting. Humans showed us a different path, the ambassador continued. They demonstrated that protecting the young, all young, creates strength, not weakness. He gestured to where Emma sat with Blue and the other alien children. Our scientists have been studying human development patterns. Their findings are remarkable. Human children raised with constant care and protection develop more complex problem-solving abilities. They show greater creativity. They form stronger social bonds. The ambassador turned back to the council members. I propose a new program. Each species will send both adults and young ones to learn from humans. We will study their methods of child rearing and adapt them to our own biologies and cultures. A murmur went through the room. Most seemed interested, though some looked skeptical. My own species has already begun, Zex continued. For the first time in our history, Drakari, hatchlings are being raised by their biological parents. The initial results are promising. After the formal meeting ended, Lisa watched Emma leading alien children and teaching each other games from their home worlds. Blue was showing a human child how to make Drakari sand drawings. Ambassador Zex approached Lisa again. Your daughter has a gift for bringing different species together, he said. Lisa nodded. She sees past the differences to what we all share. The young Drakari you call Blue has been selected for special education, the ambassador said. When grown, it will become a diplomat to Earth. That's wonderful, Lisa said. I'm sure Emma will be happy to hear that. The ambassador hesitated, then asked a personal question. Admiral Sawyer, why did you risk your life for children not your own? I have studied human behavior for months, but I still do not fully understand. Lisa thought carefully before answering. When we see a child, any child in danger, something inside us responds. We don't calculate genetic relationships or species boundaries. We just know that protecting the young is right. The ambassador was quiet for a moment. My species is very old, Admiral. We have conquered star systems and developed technologies your people can only dream of. But perhaps in this one area we have much to learn from you. Lisa smiled as she watched Emma help a small, tentacled alien child build a tower of blocks. And perhaps that's why we all need each other, Ambassador. Every species has something to teach and something to learn. Outside the viewport, Earth shone, blue and green, the home of a species that had surprised the galaxy not with weapons or technology, but with its determination to protect the most vulnerable, no matter the cost. 5 years had passed since the space station rescue. Lisa stood on the stage of the newly built Galactic Education Center on Earth. Behind her, a large window showed the beautiful blue sky of her home world. Welcome everyone to the first graduation ceremony of the Interspecies Youth Academy, Lisa said to the crowd before her. The large room was filled with beings from 20 different planets. Parents and children of all shapes, sizes, and colors sat together. Some had scales, others had fur. Some breathed air, others needed special masks to survive on Earth. In the front row sat Emma, now 17 years old. Beside her was Blue, the young Drakari who had grown much larger over the years but still had the same bright blue scales. They had become inseparable friends. 5 years ago, Lisa continued, we discovered a profound difference between humans and other advanced species in the galaxy. Where we protected our young at all costs, others followed different paths. She looked out at the crowd with pride. Today, we celebrate how much we have learned from each other. Humans have taught the galaxy about protection and care, and we have learned so much from all of you about your cultures and wisdom. After Lisa finished speaking, Ambassador Zex took the stage. The massive Drakari had become the Supreme Council, representative, the highest position in the Galactic Council. When I first met humans, Zex said, his voice rumbling through the hall, I thought their attachment to their young was a weakness. I believed, as all my people did, that the strong should survive and the weak should be left behind. He paused, looking at Blue in the front row. I was wrong, he said simply. The humans showed us a better way. A murmur went through the crowd. It was rare for a Drakari to admit being wrong about anything. Studies across all council species now show the same results, Zex continued. Young ones raised with protection and care grow to be stronger, smarter, and more creative adults. What we thought was a weakness turned out to be humanity's greatest strength. After the ceremony, families gathered in the garden outside. Lisa watched as children of different species played together on the grass. Parents who once would have abandoned their young in danger now watched over them carefully. Emma approached with Blue beside her. The young Drakari was now almost as tall as a human adult. Mom, Blue got accepted to the diplomatic training program, Emma said excitedly. We might be working together someday. Lisa smiled. Congratulations, Blue. You'll make an excellent diplomat. Blue bowed slightly. Thank you, Admiral Sawyer. I would not be here without you and Emma. A shadow fell over them. They looked up to see Ambassador Zex approaching. Admiral Sawyer, may I speak with you? The Drakari asked. Lisa nodded, and they walked together through the garden. Our scientists have made an interesting discovery, Zex said. We have been studying historical records from many worlds. It seems that most species, including mine, once protected their young as humans do. What happened? Lisa asked. As technology advanced and life became easier, many species began to focus on efficiency rather than care. We thought we were becoming more advanced, but we were losing something essential. They stopped by a small pond where alien and human children were floating toy boats together. Humans reminded us of what we had forgotten, Zex said. Your species never lost that core truth, that our responsibility to the next generation matters more than anything else. Lisa thought about this. Perhaps that's why we were so determined to reach the stars, not just for ourselves, but for our children's future. Indeed, Zex agreed. And now look what you have helped create. He gestured to the garden full of families from across the galaxy, all watching over their children with care. Last week, the ambassador continued, a Drakari ship rescued a damaged vessel from a newly discovered species. In the past, we would have saved only the adults. Instead, our crew focused on saving the children first. Lisa felt tears in her eyes. That's the greatest change I could have hoped for. As the sun began to set, Lisa found Emma sitting with Blue and friends from 6 different worlds. They were planning their futures together, studies, careers, dreams. Each of them had grown up knowing they were valued and protected. Lisa remembered the fear and danger of that day on the failing space station. The risk had been worth it, not just for saving those children, but for changing the heart of a galaxy. On a distant world, in a Drakari nursery, a parent stood guard over sleeping hatchlings. Once those young